Hey, welcome back to another day, another vlog. How are we all? Look, I'm going a bit freehold, I guess you could say. Is that a word? I'm not sure. But I said to you I was going to show you the new tripod. The old girl I left at work, and I wanted something a bit taller anyway because 6'1", it was really painful sort of going down and bending over and getting stuff. So I'm going to quickly show you this and then I'm going to whack you back on and we can go through another day, another vlog. But here it is. This little bad girl there, trying to get it all in. It goes well above my head, so you can see it here. So I'm 6'1", so it's easily over that, probably 6'2", 6'3", I'd say. If I take my hat off, see the whole ugliness on my head. But yeah, look, that's rock solid compared to the old one, and the old one was like 70 bucks. This thing was 50 bucks delivered from eBay. It come as a no-name brand, but as you can see, it is, well, you're probably not going to see on that side, sorry for that, but we should have a brand name here somewhere. I'll spin that round. Sorry about this. Yeah, that one, that's the one we need. So you can see it here. It is a newer brand. So I've had no dramas with newer in the past. I've got some ND filters that I used when I started a bit over a year ago, and I've had no dramas. So yeah, 6'1", and it's got this amazing tilt thing. So basically that arm will come and tilt horizontally, so I can do my panoramas and everything from the side. All the other stuff, twisty locks, all the usual sort of stuff other than that. But for 50 bucks delivered, like I could buy 10 of these for the price of one brand named middle to upper range, I guess. So yeah, pretty stoked with that. Well, I'm not making money. Sorry for the close-up here, but I'm just going to whack you back in this said tripod. Make sure it's all locked up. How's that? That's better. And I get the lights fixed. Just trying to get a bit of light on it while I show you. So yeah, so that was fantastic. 50 bucks delivered on eBay. Super stoked when that turned up. Head works really well. It's got a big 40mm ball. I said it's got the whole upper thing will slide, and then I can move the whole camera across exactly on the same plane. So those panoramas, which I'm I guess I've fallen for, and I'm really impressed with how they come out for my landscape stuff. And I think I seem to be sort of tending towards landscape. I'll see how it goes. You'll see my street stuff come out, and I was pretty impressed with that. But yeah, this tripod is solid as a rock. I can't remember the last brand name of it. The other one, I just bought a cheap one last time. It was like 79 bucks delivered. I'm learning, I'm relearning, and I really can't afford to blow $600-700 bucks on a tripod unless I'm going to sort of be making any sort of money back on it, or I've got that spare money. So everything's going into the house and the selling. You might have seen stuff in the background. That's all. I was doing stuff today to get sort of towards that, taking our pictures down, putting up stuff to make the house look good, all the usual stuff you do with selling the house. But yeah, super impressed with this tripod. Again, for 50 bucks, you really couldn't make it for that. And it's a super high quality bit of gear, so I'm very wrapped with that. Newer, you've done a great job again. Not sponsored or anything, but yeah, I just thought I'd show you. I'm pretty stoked about that. Yeah, new video. The next video coming out, I've went through and did all the edit. I stayed up late last night and did all the editing on the photos. For that, I did a bit of a Perth city walk around, bit of a street photography sort of thing. I guess my first 12 months, I'm trying to learn everything I can about A, the camera, the Canon M50, B, what I need to do, how I need to do it, how I need to edit stuff. It's been a massive learning curve. the last 12 months, I think my brain's exploded a couple of thousand times. And I'm probably going to put a video together, I think, as well, once I've got these other two. I've still got 2 left I need to finish off and get out. And then I've got some ideas for some other stuff. And there'll be one there, I think I'm going to go through my first 12 months in YouTube, what I think you need to actually start in you, what it costs you to start a channel, to run a channel, stuff like that. I'm going to do a bit of video like that. I think it's you don't really get that. You get about, yeah, go do it and all that, and they all go tell you to do it, and it's fantastic to do, and it's really great fun, and I really enjoy it. It's my hobby now. But it can be quite a daunting, massive learning curve, and quite costly, even at the entry level, and we'll discuss that more later. But yeah, so this Perth street photography one is going well. I got a heap of really good photos out of it. I'm pretty rapt. So I knew I got some good ones. I didn't know how good they looked. After I'd gone through and done all the colouring on them and stuff like that. And I don't go through and do much Photoshop. I'm not a big cut things out in and out, cut and paste and manipulate stuff. I'm more of a get the colours right, make sure all the colours are how I want it. Obviously I shoot in RAW, so I need to fix all that from the get-go. And if I can get that right, well then that's magic. I'm pretty wrapped from there. If I get the shot, well I got the shot, and that's the way I've always taking my photography. I guess when I started in my younger days, it was all film, so you didn't have these Photoshop things and been able to manipulate as much. And plus, to be honest, I'm really not anywhere near good enough on that to be doing anything that's I can then print or do anything. So I'm baby steps, working on my photography and my video and that stuff first, and then down the road I can, I guess, get better at Photoshop. I do have that training course on Udemy, so I'll do that there, and I'm sure I'll get better as I go. But yeah, so looking good with that. Gonna spend a fair bit of time tomorrow doing gonna start going through and chucking into Premiere Pro and doing some editing. So hopefully the next couple of days I'll have another this week's video out for you. So looking good, a lot to talk about in it. Rightio, let's talk in today's news, reviews and stuff like that. The new iPad Pro 2020. This year, they're talking about a new version. It's not going to be much in the body shape or style or anything like that. So no new ports, nothing taken out of it or put into it on the body size. On the body side of things, sorry. Possibilities, obviously 5G is the new thing, so it'd be very strange that it doesn't have 5G. Those iPads are pretty much the same as a phone in they need to be connected, whether they're going to go Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is just ridiculously unsafe no matter where you go. Even if you've got a VPN, it's a bit scary. Most people don't use them. And I know in Australia, people are very lackluster about their internet security. I had a mate at work, got hacked at a coffee shop, and his computer was getting downloaded as he was running away with a MacBook because he couldn't obviously can't get the battery out. That's the only way he could do it. And cost him a fair bit of time and money to get everything closed, shut and fixed so they didn't steal anything. So a bit scary. So yeah, 5G on them is pretty much a given. They need to be doing that. On the display side, they're talking about mini LED. So mini LED is, you've got OLED, then you've got mini LED, then you've got micro LED. We talked a bit about at the CES about micro LED being the actual next logical step. So it'll go OLED to micro LED. LED, just there's still a bit of room in there, and it's really not as good as crispy a screen as OLED. So to be honest, I don't think they will go that way. I think Apple might just keep what they've got now with the OLED or their screen they've got now, that high quality screen. It's not OLED, but it's really good quality display. I think they'll keep that until that micro LED, which is going to be a proper jump. and it'll be the next tech. I think they'll wait till they can get that, and then they'll go there, because that'll then be a whole new level. The mini LED will be an improvement, but I don't think it's worthwhile for the technology. You're really not going to get that much of a benefit, and your current screen will still probably be as good. So they are talking about mini LED, but I just can't see it happening. Yeah, it's just, from what they said at the CES, mini LEDs okay, but micro LEDs really where you need to be. The big change in the iPad will be this new A14 chip that's coming out, and that'll be in the phones and all the new iPads this year. It's a monster. It's the 5 nanometer chip. It's going to basically make these iPads as powerful as a laptop. It's going to be pretty scary what it can do, how much it's going to be able to give everything a big kick in the butt. So that's going to be very, very cool. And it's definitely important for Apple to have that in the iPad Pros, because they're really pushing that as that lightweight travel type laptop. So you go from your iPad Pro, say 10, 11 inch, then you'll jump to your 12, to your 14, to your 16. So there's all your 4 steps, and this will be a portable mobile device, and then you'll go into a proper laptop at 12, and then 14, then 16 as the top of the wazzer. So I think it's definitely going to happen this year. If the phone's going away, this will have to have it, because it needs that grunt, and with all that grunt in it, it can do a bit more computery stuff that you need to do with an actual computer. It's going to have a wide angle camera on the back. It's currently got 1, I think. It'll go to 2, 1 just a normal, and then wide angle. Okay, I don't really see the need on an iPad for a camera. Just a standard camera's fine. I know at work they're talking about doing them for their servicing, and then if you find defects on the machines while you're going through your service list, you can take a photo of it. You don't need wide angle, you don't need low light, you don't need any of that. It's nothing that fancy that requires a fancy camera on a computer. You really don't. Hence why they haven't changed the FaceTime camera in a laptop since 2010. It's still a crappy 720p FaceTime. If it was that important that you needed a good camera on a computer, they would have had a 4K camera lens on all MacBooks by now. Maybe this year. Maybe that could be one we haven't picked, no one's picked, that we might get in there. There's my guess for the year, a decent selfie cam in the laptops. It will have a 12 megapixel selfie camera on the inside, so which is good. That's good for your FaceTimes and stuff like that. So that's probably going to be a really good benefit. On the other side, taking photos, you don't need it, but on this side, that definitely FaceTime, definitely something it'll be used for, and yeah, very, very cool. That's good. I'd say that it will be given. So yeah, a little bit happening there on the iPad front, and I'm sure we'll hear more coming towards March, probably mid-February to end of February. That's when it'll just ramp up in craziness for the Apple news for that next event. Rightio, Trump, back in the news here we get, just can't help himself. Getting impeached. He's going through the process, the trial, and he was in, I think, Switzerland, and bragging at a conference about how he had all the evidence. He had control of all the evidence to convict him, so no one can get it. So he's basically telling them all, yeah, I've got everything they need to get me, but yeah, you're not going to get it. So yeah, just, I guess you've got to laugh at it, because he's getting away with it. So what do you do? He goes just from one day where he's doing stupid stuff to the next day doing stupid stuff. I guess it's hard for the guys that have to make him accountable to keep up and try and keep him accountable, because every day he does something even dumber, I guess. Can you say that? I don't know. Anyway, it was quite funny, I thought. And yeah, he's just out there doing his thing, and he doesn't give 2 rats. So yeah. Now on to some sad stuff. That coronavirus in China is getting bigger. Death toll gone from yesterday 25 up to 41 today. They've locked down Wuhan province. Said yesterday 11 million people worked there. Watched a couple of interviews today of people that actually work there. English teacher that's working over there from Great Britain, an Irish guy, and he's going out basically in the morning. They're shutting tonight, I think tomorrow morning, they shut down all vehicles, all traffic no public transport. They're bringing in a fleet of sterile taxis. It's the only way you'll be able to get around. The whole city is locked down. Imagine 11 million people locked down, half of Australia's population in one city locked down to go nowhere. They're taking it pretty serious. There's been cases now, only 5 cases in the States. Hong Kong's ramping up their lockdowns. They're pretty much shutting down all trains, transport, planes to that province. Nothing's going in or out of that province. There's bits and it hasn't gone too crazy outside of it, but inside China, they're a little bit fearful that it could really get pretty bad. They're saying there's something like 5,000 people that were affected, and those 5,000 people obviously had a chance to affect another 3 people. So then you're looking at 15,000, then another 3, and then it starts multiplying. So you can see how quickly it could just become a catastrophe. As of till now, there is 0 vaccine for it. They haven't found a vaccine for it. They're basically in, how do you call it? They're in trying to control mode. They're trying to limit what damage it does while they're trying to work out what it is, how they can stop it and stuff like that. So yeah, look, if you're in China or you've come back from China, you've got friends from China and it's a dry cough and stuff like that, if you've got any sort of symptoms, whatever, the best thing, get straight to a doctor. The sooner you get there, the better chance. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't spread too much further. It looks like the Chinese guys are pretty serious about shutting it down. They flew in about 400 army doctors into the area, so they are going full. No, they're not taking any chances whatsoever. They really are doing a great job. So it's good to see the Chinese government really stepping it up. So yeah, it's obviously pretty sad. Those 41 people have lost their lives to this thing. It's I'm sure, unfortunately, we're going to hear more losses of life. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. I'm sure we haven't heard the end of it, like Trump. Sad and more sad news. If you are like me and you grew up with Monty Python, just the most funniest dudes on the planet, without a doubt. I could only think of a couple of other people that were sort of in their class when I grew up. They were close to that. Like Dave Allen, the Irish comedian. I used to love watching him. But Monty Python, me and one of my best mates, Al Feeney, we used to watch at his parents' place, used to just watch endless hours of Monty Python, the Holy Grail, the meaning of life, everything you can imagine, Life of Brian, all those classics, just ridiculously awesome humour. Terry Green, one of the stalwarts of that, one of the original writers, has passed away, 77, got a rare form of dementia, unfortunately, and from when he diagnosed to when he passed away was pretty quick. So I guess the only thing possibly it might have been a little bit quick and he didn't suffer too long. That dementia can be pretty nasty. So yeah, really sad day, just an awesome guy. If you want to put a picture in your head, picture Life of Brian, Brian's mother, that's Terry Green. So yeah, Terry Jones, sorry. Yeah, just amazing guy, brilliant sense of humour. The whole team were, but like he was one of the main 2 writers, and terrible when you see these just godfathers of comedy and great things that you just remember your whole life, and I'll never forget half of the stuff that he's written. Sad day. Sad week, I guess, for everyone that's involved. Obviously to his family. Even worse for them. So hopefully I can remember all the good stuff, and he has created a lot that they can look back on and be proud of. He's a true legend of film and comedy. Right, back to Apple. Switch back to Apple. Come from them. Switch back. Come back up into a bit of tech. 4.7 inch, the new little one. I think it was the 5 had that little one. The SE, which was a good size phone. I think I've said in the past they need to have a small, medium, large, and then have a base model, then a Pro, base model, Pro, base model, Pro. I think that's a better way to do it. what they're doing now is ridiculous, because you can buy a small phone, which is this 4.7 inch is going to be, but it's going to have stuff all in it. It's going to be an up-to-date tech, but really nothing in it. It's going back to friggin' fingerprint scan, which is just stupid. I would not buy that. Had that was an absolute pain in the ass. Didn't work 90% of the time. You had to constantly put your code in because it just doesn't work with a case on. And if you use a phone without a case, well, you're obviously a millionaire, because as a mechanic without a case, you'd just be absolutely crazy. So yeah, they're bringing that in. It'd be great if they bring that size in and then bring some pro features to it at a different price level. That'd be fantastic, because having that smaller phone is definitely good. Not everyone wants to watch full play games at full size or whatever you do with those massive phones. I think I said not long ago that I had the 6 Plus, and I was pretty happy to see the back end of it. It was just too big. Pockets, trying to fit into pockets, constantly falling out because it was just over that balance point, and just a pain in the ass. So yeah, that'll be out. The good thing is it's going to be $400 US, so it's the right price end. As I was saying, if you started there at a 400, and then you'd had a pro version at say 800, it'll be a pretty good jump, and I think it'd be good. I think they'd sell a lot more in those two ranges than those two XL size phones. But yeah, but at least that's coming out. That should be out in March at that first one. Nikon Z6. Nikon's obviously copped a fair bit of grunt in the last 12 months. It continues to on the photography side. Video side, they're not really well known for it. They've recently brought out a firmware update where you can send your camera in. Now Z6 not a top end of the Waza sort of camera or video camera by any chance. It's about $1,800 in Australia for a new one, so they're not ridiculously overpriced, and definitely not high end. You can send that in. I think it's a few $100. Get this upgrade done by Nikon. They send it back. You can then shoot raw video on it, which is pretty amazing for a camera. It's pretty cool. Now, obviously, a couple of caveats. That's the word I'm looking for. Caveats to using that raw. You obviously can't do it to the card or whatever. You've got to buy a Atmos Ninja 5. Plug it into that. That's got to be updated to the right software. But once you do that, and then you record straight to the Atmos V, so there's another $1,000, unfortunately. That's why I said caveats. You have that you can shoot raw, and the footage from the couple of people I've watched reviews on is really good. And to get that level of video, you're talking in the multi-thousands of dollars. So this is really bargain basement. Nearly not cinema quality, but it's not an RE camera, but it's like a fantastic entry level for a run and gun shoot. And I watched one of the London guys. He had a little kit. It was basically this big, and he was running around London with the Siri anamorphic lens on even as a kit, and it looked really good. Did come up $1 million, just a basic LUT package on it, and looked awesome. Really, really good. And for your money, it's probably going to cost you, say, $2.5 grand to set up with cages and everything. $2.5, $3 grand Australian. And the similar something to get at raw video, you're going to be easily looking at something like the 1DX3, which is $10,000. That's probably your next level up to get to that raw footage. So yeah, very, very, very cool. And yeah, what can I say? That's amazing for a little camera. That's, again, it's not an upper echelon camera. It's probably a mid-range, low range. The Z50 is the lowest. This is the next one up. So man, that's it. To be able to update that to go raw, great job, Nikon. Great job. That's about it. Yeah, another day. I hope you like the tripod. Yeah, eBay, I suggest you get on there, and I can't wait to use that horizontal and do some panos once I get out shooting again. This first week I'm catching up on all my video stuff and editing. Want to get all that done over the next week and on my holidays, and then we'll get into looking at my next movie to shoot and where I'm going to go. But yeah, so can't wait to use that and do some more on that. But at the moment, it is fantastic, and I don't have to look straight across. I feel a little bit better when I've sort of got a camera to look up to. Hope it looks a little bit better each day. Anyway, red wine time. Cheers. Hope you've had a good weekend. Happy Australia Day to everyone today. Big day for all Australians to celebrate this great nation, what it is and what it can be. Hope you've all celebrated. You're not too smashed. You got a day to recover tomorrow. If those who are going out to any fireworks celebrations tonight, be safe. Don't drink and drive. I'm sure there'll be cops everywhere looking for you. It's double demerits all over the joint, so look out for them. And yeah, we'll see you all again tomorrow. Hopefully you've recovered and not feeling too rat shit. Happy Australia Day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers.